the show here. Okay, welcome everybody to the Hiker's Dream. This is Landslide or Val, and I promote hikers, hiking, and the environment on this show. And today we have MiMi Lindsey on the show. Welcome, MiMi. MiMi.
Mimi.
And she's going to
Hello.
talk about some of her background and the new Facebook group she just started on the PCT support, hikers support, which is very interesting. It caught my eye, and I think that's really important for especially those hikers that are, like you said, you mentioned before the show, have a handicap or some kind of restriction or limitation, and helping those hikers get out into the environment and enjoying nature and really, supporting nature, hopefully too. So maybe we could start with your background and then go into your support group.
I am a recovering attorney. I
Okay.
graduated from Harvard Law School in 1999 and was a corporate securities attorney, which is it's a very high pressure, high dollar kind of practice. In hindsight, maybe I should have chosen a different uh, specialty or a different career. That's what my psychiatrist tells me. Very helpful now. But I worked and I've always been like, we did a lot of car camping growing up, so I've always enjoyed the outdoors. In fact, before I went to law school, I bought one of those old-fashioned metal, you know, backpacks,
Mm-hmm.
because I
Boy
wanted
Scout,
to,
Girl Scout,
yeah,
metal
yeah, and I got
frame.
it, I'm sure I got it at, like, at REI, but it's out of, I don't know if it's out of fashion. It's just we have better technology, right? And I never got to use it. I packed it up one time and I went to Yosemite, and I had a friend that worked there, so we used the backpacker. You could camp one night, right, in the backpacker uh area, because it was in the summer. It was impossible to get a reservation. So that was it. But then after being a lawyer for a few years, I quit my job, and instead of letting me leave, they gave me a leave of absence. And they said, you take as much time as you need. So I went on a outward bound 7-day whitewater rafting trip down the Colorado River in Utah. And I just really fell in love with the remoteness. And I don't need a nice bathroom. So I'm not a girly girl. I loved it. Other people didn't, but I loved it. So, and I had done a lot of car camping in the desert too. That's, no running water. So, um, I don't know. Oh, I know what happened. So then I had not gone backpacking yet though. But my best friend Allie, she did 700 miles of the PCT in 2019, but she had to come off trail because she had something wrong with her eyes, like vertigo or something. So she came home, and then she went out again in March of 2020 and got sent home because of COVID. So she talked me into it. Of course, I was interested. So in May, in April, I started planning, and we went on a hike. We were going to do 400 miles. I had no real training. I did not know what I was doing. And honestly, if I did know more about it, I probably wouldn't have done it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes ignorance is bliss.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a fine line between uh too much information and not enough. And that's what I really want to, I actually have two hiker groups on Facebook. I have PCT slower hikers, and then I have PCT hiker support. And PCT hiker support is for anybody. And I would really like to, I have a nonprofit, and I'd really like to use technology to there's just not a centralized place for help and information about the PCT. And like there's a Facebook group, but it's very like, I just feel like it's not organized properly to help people with, you know, like, why don't we have I would like to have a website. I'm working on an app where, say you want to get a sleeping bag, right? And then all the information and people's comments would be there for sleeping bag, all the brands, and then I could link it to the brands and charge advertising for that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's one thing. The other thing I'd like to do is have a place where all the YouTube channels are there. You can click through, so you're not like searching around, and then and they could put their channels, like, you could put yours in whatever area, whatever your target audience is, right? And I guess the biggest thing for me is my daughter, Kimiko, died of cancer when she was 12 in 2019. And she was sick for 8 years, and she just loved camping. She loved being outside, but we just, because of her illness, we never got to do backpacking. And so everything, the name of my nonprofit is For Kimmy Enterprises. It's forkimmy.org. And I'm going to apply for like grants from REI. My goal is to have an app that competes with Far Out, because I think Far Out could be a lot better, and my app would be free.
That's a
So
lot. That's a
that's
lot of
better, right?
support and information. Yeah, you do look and sound like you know about technology and what you're talking about. I mean, that's very valuable.
Yeah, well, I know what technology is out there. I just don't know. I couldn't make an app, right? I'd have to hire someone, but you can do that. Like, it's not that expensive. Even you use somebody in India.
Right. Well,
Oh,
for
I also have a book publishing company. So I want to give people the opportunity to write their own book about the PCT, and I'll publish it for them. Or I'd like to write, like, if you want to just write a chapter, and I'd have a book of just like very targeted Black hikers, Hispanic hikers, trans hikers, gay hike, so there's one, you don't have to look all over and read all these books. It's really a centralized distribution of information.
that is so cool.
That's my
That's cool. But when did you start all this or get the idea for it?
recently. It's been in
Yeah,
my, I just knew I wanted to do something to honor my daughter for in her name. Um, and I guess the little thing, when my daughter got diagnosed with cancer, we were laying in bed at Children's Hospital in San Diego, and we could see out the window, the stars were coming out. And she said, Mommy, when I die, the first star you see at night will be me saying hi to you. And I freaked out because she didn't even know, we didn't even know she did not know she had cancer yet, but she's in the hospital for 2 weeks. She's not stupid. She was always smarter than me. And I said, Kimmy, I'm much older than you. I will die first, and I will be the star in the sky. But that's not what happened. So every time I go out and see the star, the first star I see, every night I go talk to the first star. And it's going to be the logo for my business. For my
cool.
business and my nonprofit is going to be a star with a little halo on it.
That's so cool. We're our nonprofit, which is environmental, but we're multidimensional. So we pay a lot of attention to our dreams and intuition. So a lot of times people, I know, well, it wasn't me, it was my former wife that saw my mother passing. The night before my mother passed, she had a dream where she saw my mother get out of bed. She had cancer too. The night before my mother passed, my former wife saw her get out of bed, pull up her stockings, pick up a suitcase, go out the door, and there was a car, like a black, hearse kind of car waiting for her. And she just got in, but she didn't look back. She just like, she knew where she was going, what she was doing, determined. No sadness or anything. She just went in the car and left. So that was like a confirmation that she's okay. So I was wondering if you have had any dreams because of your daughter or anything related,
I had better than that.
Okay.
It was the night, I think it was the night before Thanksgiving, and I have a CPAP machine, which is another problem I'm trying to solve. How do people with sleep apnea safely hike on the trail, right? Because there's no solution for that. But anyway, something woke me up, and like I pulled my CPAP, and the air was coming, and I heard my daughter say, Mommy, can you hear me? And I was like, yes. And she said, I am always with you.
Mhm.
And I know it wasn't a dream. I was right there and vividly remember it. And I guess that's what I know in my heart. I lost my brother to suicide like almost 20 years ago, right before I got pregnant, 3 weeks before I got pregnant with my daughter. And I think if you realize this is just an illusion. This life that we think is so real, it's not real. It's an illusion. And we come here to learn. And I think if like I'm a big meditator because I just think it helps you get perspective that this is not all there is. This is so if I know my daughter's still here, kind of, your mom's like they don't when you die, I don't believe that that's just it. I believe that your spirit or your soul is I don't know what I talked to a psychic and she said that my daughter was not reincarnating, but she wanted to spend time as a dog. And I said, really? And I said, could I find the dog? And she said, oh yeah, that's what she wants you to do. She says, but you don't have to look, she'll find you. And I adopted a dog that I'm convinced is my dog.
Okay.
Just make it horrible when the dog passes away again, but I'm convinced it's my daughter.
We have choices more than people think. When we pass over, there's choices. You have choices, just like in the physical, you have choices, what you want to do. You became a lawyer, you
Next.
became a doctor, whatever, you became a dog. It's the body type that you choose that you want to have experience with, in that particular lifetime. So it's
And
really
there's no
whatever.
guarantees, right? There's no
No, there's no
guarantees for
guarantee.
like you're gonna face the lessons that come with that physical being.
Yeah, it's always your decision. It's not, you may not, a lot of people don't go for this, but it's not like decreed from high above or the plan, the divine plan. It's your
Nobody's
decision.
the puppet master,
Yeah,
right?
right. It's always your
You're in
decision.
charge of yourself.
Yeah. And that's freeing in a way. You have to face everything, but still you have a freedom then to do and choose whatever you want to do. It's not like you have to do this or you're restricted in this way, or so it's really freeing kind
Yeah,
of.
I don't believe in fate. I don't believe in fate or destiny, right? I believe that you choose I think when you come here, wherever you are, you choose your parents. That's what I believe. That's what you choose. And then you're going to forget like all your wisdom but you can get back in touch with that wisdom, I think through meditation or if you're just an open-hearted individual. But it's a challenge and I think you also you need help in this life. You have to connect with one other person or you can't do it by yourself and be successful.
It's difficult. Yeah, you need some guidance in some way. So the guides help you they give you hints. They don't directly tell you from my experience, but they give you hints or they provide an experience for you in your dreams or in the physical where you can maybe wake up to something more. And what we're looking at is awareness to be the most important thing. Awareness, expanding your awareness. It's not about belief or faith, or it's just becoming aware of what already is. And then
Right? Opening up your heart and your mind.
And it just what is, then how are you going to relate to whatever is? See, most people kind of they try to create something, but everything is already there. You just have to like see it for what it is, and then how are you going to relate to it? So it's kind of an interesting aspect how we see it, how I see it. So you're on the right track. I see it. You've got a good understanding and awareness, and that's what I think we're both trying to do with the hikers too, is a tool to help to reach people and to help them become more whatever they want to become, reach their full potential.
I forgot to mention this. I have bipolar disorder, and so one of the groups I want to help is people that have mental health challenges, right? Depression, or bipolar disorder, or whatever.
We met this another father and son team on the trail, and the son was probably in his early 20s, and I went up to him. I said hi. He kind of ignored me, and didn't pay any attention to me. I wonder what was going on. What did I do wrong? My breath smell or what? So after a while, I was talking to his dad, and he said, "Yeah, my son's autistic." So
Oh,
yeah, so he's taking his son out into nature to, it's a whole different arena
I
than,
didn't even think, I did not even think of that, but that would be amazing, wouldn't it?
yeah, but
To help.
this kid could, you show him a map and then of the trail ahead, and he could tell you from looking at that map how many miles we've gone, how many miles we still have to do. They have this genius aspect to them. And this kid, he was really good at that. I mean, we didn't need a map or GPS. He had this fellow who was telling us how
That's
far we had to
incredible.
go. Yeah, he was really good at that. I mean, it's kind of obscure talent, but he could read mileage somehow or distances really well.
They do some, I have a couple friends with kids who are autistic, and they're not good at everything, but
No,
there's certain things that they are like, it's like almost like it's crazy how good it's scary in a good way.
well, they've tapped into something that we all have potential to, but they've just gone that route.
That's a good point.
And it's nothing really wrong with them. It's just, according to society, they're different, but they're just they've just decided to do or to come into this life with that handicap or that ability, whatever you want to call it, to experience that. So we're here to experience everything, like to become more aware. Otherwise, we're in a tunnel vision kind of like a position where, we think life is this way or that way, but the more we experience, the more we see life is more bigger than we thought, and then there's a lot more freedom and expansiveness to it, and choices that we have and potential.
Well, and I think it puts it in like perspective, because I sometimes I used to feel like, oh, my life is horrible, my childhood was horrible, and my ex-husband beat me, tried to kill me, and then my work sucked, and then my brother killed himself, and then my daughter got cancer, and then she died. And like when you put it like that, it sounds pretty bad. But
Mhm.
look at how much good stuff happened. Like there's way more good in my life than the bad. And of course my daughter's, I miss her, but I know she's with me, and I know she would want me to be happy. And I was going to kill myself if she died. That's what I told my therapist. I said, I don't know. I don't think I'll make it. But I have a really good therapist, and I've never been happier. Like I can't believe it, but I'm sad still sometimes, but overall I'm very happy.
Well, you have a chance to expand upon that experience you had with her. You heard her, right? You heard her in physical. So
I heard her.
yeah, you can expand, maybe create the same environment, or somehow ask her to, you know, to communicate with you again, or if you want, but you can expand upon that experience. Just like in a dream, if you have this real vivid dream or lucid dream, you can expand upon there, go back there even, and uh
I'm
develop it.
taking an online class on communicating with, I think it's called communicating with dead people. It was only $15. So I said,
Uh-huh.
what the hell? And I'm taking one about communicating with dogs, or with animals. So I got all
Great,
the bases covered.
great, you're doing
It's
it.
also
Yeah.
only $15.
Well, you're taking the initiative. Yeah. So once you decide upon something, life will help back you. It'll back you and provide experiences for you that will help you to be more of who you are and what you
I
want.
agree.
So yeah, we'll put all this information in the video, to all the links for your other Facebook group and anything else, your website. We can do all that,
Yes.
you know. And
Should I email that to you?
yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
And then we'll pass around the PCT, PCT Uncensored. There's a couple PCT groups, or at least, I mean, there's many, but as many as I know,
Okay.
I'll pass this video around, and your information. And maybe we can even get together more and do stuff. I like what you're doing, and you seem to
I
be
like
well.
talking to you. I like how you think.
Hmm?
I
Yeah,
like how you think.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's not really thinking. It's focused on awareness. So there's their thinking aspect, and then beyond that is intuition, which is beyond thinking, and then it's our real self, our real awareness, and that's kind of what I'm looking at. It's like how to become more aware. And in this case, it's through
You
hiking.
meditate?
Uh, I hike. That's my meditation, you could say. Because when I'm
Well,
out there walking, and that's like a walking meditation, you know.
it is. It definitely is. If you're
Yeah.
not listening to your, but like I meditate. I meditate 3 times a day.
Okay.
I really don't think you can be successful at life without meditating or some learning how to control your thoughts, right? Or so I think that's the biggest problem people have is, you know, the way their thought patterns are just
Yeah.
usually incorrect.
What they think, what they think they know, and following their thoughts and ideas instead of what's really happening. Because we
Well, it's
all,
so funny because like what happened when you talked to the autistic boy and
Mhm.
your first thought was, what did I do wrong?
Right,
Right.
right.
And my therapist taught me, she goes, It's not, it's probably not you. Just assume it's not you. Right.
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
you know you didn't do anything. But it's funny, that's our instinct to what did I do wrong? So,
Well, guilt is a huge liability
oh, yeah.
in this planet. Yeah, guilt.
Yeah. It
And
took
all
me
the
when my brother killed
religions.
himself in my home. It took a long time to
Oh yeah, yeah,
forgive myself.
yeah. But we learn how to let it go, and it's still okay. You're okay. He's okay. Daughter's okay.
I know.
Everybody's okay. It's just getting through ourselves and our ideas and thinking. It's the challenge.
Yes, suicide, a death from suicide though is just different. It's a different loss because it was you feel like it was a choice they made to leave you, right? And he promised he wouldn't, and he signed a contract with his
Hmm.
therapist that he wouldn't, but
Hmm.
that's not enforceable. So it was just very, very shocking to me because he had been sick for a long time. I put him in the mental hospital, and he had just finished an outpatient program. So we thought he was okay. And then I guess he relapsed, and then they said, oh, we misdiagnosed him. He was bipolar like you, not just depressed. And so he was on the wrong medication.
Well, have
So
you
that's frustrating.
experienced him in your dreams or heard him?
I have. I had the most wonderful dream where we were hugging, and I was like hugging him, hugging, and then he dissolved, but he gave me this heart that was a red heart. And so then I bought this heart from I gotta find it. I don't know where it is right now. And then my daughter, we were at the dog park one time, and I don't know, I was thinking my brother started crying, and she goes, "Mommy, what's wrong?" And I said, "Oh, I just miss Uncle Yuki." And she goes, "Mommy, he's right here. Look, I'm gonna give him a big hug." And
Hmm.
she went like that to hug, and like she was hugging him. So that was pretty cool.
We never really leave each other. Yeah. It's just, again, it's
No,
an illusion.
it's an illusion.
Yeah. I mean,
It's hard though. It's hard to,
it's
you
hard.
know,
Oh yeah. For the physical, personal self, it's hard.
right,
We've been indoctrinated to look at reality a certain way. I mean, people
right.
like Indians that live with nature, they're more in tune with with the other worlds, dream worlds. They used to share
Yeah.
their experiences in the morning with each other. The family did. So
Hmm.
a lot of them, a lot of Indian tribes. So they had a better understanding of what was going on around them in the physical.
I really want to do ayahuasca. That's fine.
Well,
I want to try
that'll
that.
open you up. Yeah. There's a lot of
Not
that
by
down here.
myself. There's a program, like a coaching program that's part of their third level.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going down here in Mexico. All
Yeah,
the plant-based
that's
mushrooms and
psilocybins.
iboga and all these other means.
Where are you in Mexico?
Baja, just an hour south of Tijuana, San Diego. Primo Tapia,
Oh, okay.
Puerto
Huh?
Nuevo. Yeah, that's where we have our headquarters here.
Yeah. I didn't know that. Oh, are you from San Diego?
I'm originally, well, born in Germany, and then I came to the San Francisco Bay Area when I was 5, and I grew up there.
Oh, sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Es Runai Latviski. I'm Latvian, actually. My
Oh,
parents
okay.
are Latvian. Yeah. I was just in Germany 6 months, and they were in a displacement camp, and then Red Cross helped them over to America. And I was only 6 months when I came here.
Okay.
So Latvian is my first language. Yeah.
So you speak Latvian?
Yeah, yeah. Es runāju
Eh,
Latvijas ļoti
I've
labi.
never met anyone from Latvia before.
Well, it's obscure. There's only like a couple million Latvians in the world, or
Hmm.
maybe 3 million, so yeah.
I don't know any, I didn't even know that was an actual country, to be honest with you.
It's Estonia, Lithuania, Latvia, Poland, Germany, it's kind of
Okay.
across from Norway, Finland, Sweden, up there.
Hmm.
So,
Forgive my ignorance.
oh, that's fine. Nobody, yeah. I know they kind of make fun of it sometimes. And Seinfeld, if you watch Seinfeld,
Of course.
yeah, well, George wanted to convert to Latvian Orthodox Church because of his girlfriend, because she was part of that
I don't
religion.
remember that one.
Yeah, so he had to go and study their works and everything. But it's so obscure. It was funny, that she was Latvian Orthodox, which is kind of funny.
I bet you now that you mention it, I'm gonna be seeing it
You'll
all over
laugh,
the
yeah.
place. It's on
Okay,
the radar now.
yeah. Okay, so I like to keep these to about half an hour. So
Okay.
let's do this again. Maybe in a while, we'll see. But let's keep a connection and see if we can do something together. If I can help you or you can help me, because
That'd
this
be awesome.
sounds interesting what you're doing.
Thank you.
So
Can I ask where you get your funding for your nonprofit
we're
from?
still working on it. We're still
Okay.
working on it. Yeah, yeah. But when we do, it'll be big time. But I can
Like,
talk to you later about it. Yeah,
okay. Okay.
yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All
So
right.
happy trails.
Happy
Send me the
trails.
links to your
I will.
info. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Mimi. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.